So again, hello everyone. I'm happy to give you an informative speech today about medical Qigong. So before we start, some of you are my patients and some are my student in the Chinese medicine school learning acupuncture. So I think that still it's important. I try to explain to you what is qi, for example. Yeah. In the TCM, with acupuncture or with medical qigong, we are always actually exercising, or we are trying to regulate or tonify our qi. What is qi? Qi means energy. To make it simple, yeah, we say that in German is Kraft. We have Kraft und Saft. So we have like energy, and we also have the body fluid, the blood, etc. If we try to classify the substance in our body, we have some visible substances, yeah, the visible blood, the visible muscle, the visible uh, bones and skins and hair and everything, that organs, for example, our heart, our lungs, our kidney, our liver, all these organs, we could check them with the West medicine. And the West medicine is also quite evidence-based medicine. So everything, like every disease need to be checked or need to be seen from the blood test, from the organ test, from MRT, from CT, etc. So, but there are also, well, the quantum physics now says actually even 90% of our body or us are not visible. So we have really a very large part that cannot be checked or cannot be seen, cannot be researched in the laboratory, like the blood, for example, our energy. Yeah, we know that we can feel our energy. I have every day in my practice the patient tell me, Huating, I feel that I'm really running low of energy. I'm so tired. I have chronic fatigue. This is like the most everyday, really daily complaint that I hear. People don't have energy. And the energy is not to be checked. We could probably in the future there might be tests or machines that could check our energy, but at least we can feel it. We can really see it. There are also other invisible parts like our emotions. We know that when we are happy, we know that when we stress and when we are sad, and when we are fear, or when we have a lot of worries. All the emotions, they also have big influences on our health. Yeah, we will talk about it now in a second. We also have a lot of other invisible part, like our meridians, for example. Yeah, the energy has energy path. We know that, for example, the lymph, we have lymph system, and the lymph fluids has the lymph running. They runs in the lymph system, and we know that our Kreislauf, our circulation, the circulation has the circulation road, and our meridians has also its own path. When I do the acupuncture for you, for instance, of course, I'm needling the acupuncture point, and these points, they are the different locations of the energy. And we also have, of course, for instance, also our soul, or we also have the invisible things, like, for example, if we notice we are angry, for instance, then our energy really go immediately up. So the energy can go up easily. And what are the most complaint? As I said, people complain that they are their lack of energy. So the energy can be sick as well. It's exactly like the organs. Yeah, the organs. When we drink alcohol, we might do some harms to our liver, and the energy has also the sickness. One of them, for example, that's all of you are concerned because I'm not. I know all of you. So one of the most common problems is what we call qi stagnation or energy stagnation. The energy normally needs to flow freely, but it can easily stagnate. When the energy stagnates, just like imagine if the water stop, the energy flows like the river. If it stagnates, then we feel, for example, we could feel pressure. Yeah, for example, the blood high pressure people, they could feel that they have some pressure in their head. The migraine patient will also feel that they have the pain in their head. Some people say in their temple area. Some people say it's in the front head. Some people, for example, they are sitting all day long in front of the computer. They will also have now the backside of their head or their necks, their shoulder. They could feel a lot of tension and pain. So these are very typical of the symptoms for our energy stagnation. So where the energy stagnates, we feel it. We feel it either as pressure or we feel it as pain. Yeah, all kind of pain. Some of you experience lower back pain. Some of you experience like headaches. Some of you experience like PMS or the chest pain, the breast pain, or period pain. Yeah, when they get periods, then the energy, we say the liver energy stagnates easily, so it makes the these cramps in our uterine or very strong pain in the first 2 days. For instance, some of you might already take some painkillers during this period of pain. However, the painkillers can milder, can make our pains just temporarily disappear, but unfortunately, it couldn't really resolve the causes for the energy stagnation. And the energy stagnates. Of course, the energy slowly, when it's blocked, like the cars, I always use the example in the traffic jam. When every car uh, stops in the road, and then there will not be new energy that come through. So in this case, the energy will be also less and less because we consume every day the energy, and if it stagnates, of course, in the long term, that we develop the energy deficiency. The energy deficiency is also very common. Yeah. For example, that if you feel tired, if at the end of the day, or we say that different organs show up different qi deficiency. For example, people who have the heart energy deficiency may always have some heart palpitation, for instance. Or, for example, some people will have some heart problems already when they are born. So these people will have, for example, the swelling normally on their left side. Yeah, for example, swelling arms, swelling hands, or the left part, the swelling legs, or the swelling thigh, because the heart is also situated in our left side. So this ödem or this heart energy deficiency will make these swelling problems even more, because of course we need the energy to move our body fluids, and we also need the energy to move our blood. So now we talk about the heart's energy deficiency. Of course, other organs can suffer as well. For instance, the spleen, the digestion, if the spleen and the stomach, we say this digestive system in the Chinese medicine, if the energy is low there, then we will have problem. For example, in digestion, people will suffer from bloating, they will suffer from tiredness, for example, after eating. Very typically, these people also feel heavy because the spleen energy moves the water, transform the water in our body. So these people will suffer from heaviness, like there are some described that like wearing a raincoat, wearing some kind of clothes full of water. And the spleen also transform what we eat. Yeah, so the food that we take in, our spleen and stomach, this digestive system will transform them into the nutrient in our body and distribute them to all of the body part and produce a very precious blood, yeah, the red blood cells. So the spleen's energy deficiency people, they could develop, for example, iron deficiency or red blood cell deficiency. The hemoglobin is low. They could have some lack of magnesium, lack of minerals. So all these nutrient deficiency is contributed to our spleen Qi deficiency. And the spleen Qi deficiency also because this Qi cannot really transform the water in the body, then these people develop, for example, cysts, yeah, because the water now stagnates together with the energy. And these people then will have, for example, either that they really getting very thick. Well, they kind of übergewicht, so they overweight. And this overweight not necessarily because they eat unhealthy or they eat too much. On the contrary, I have many patients, they are very aware of what they eat. They eat healthily, and some of them say, well, I'm eating like a rabbit. I eat only vegetables, but still I take on weight. Yeah, particularly some of them describe that Huating, I just drink water, but even if I drink water, I take on weight. I don't understand why. And these people, they also develop, if you touch their body, actually, it's not that they accumulate fat, but they have this water retention very easily. Yeah. For example, you see that their legs or their thighs, their lower part is kind of full of it's just really swollen. It's more water in these muscles, or these people they develop differences like kidney cysts or nodule in the breast, nodules in thyroids, or what we say this calcitonin, yeah, the nodules in thyroid, nodules in breast, or fibroids, for example, in the uterine. So these three areas, we say that the uterines, the ovary, the breast, and the thyroid, all these three places, they are the locations of the spleens and kidney meridians. So the kidney and spleen meridians, these two organs, they are responsible of making the hormones working properly and remove the excessive waters in the body. But if these organs' energy are weak, then the body accumulates water, accumulate energy stagnation. When it's over a long term, then it even accumulates blood stasis. So if we say everything starts with Qi stagnation, energy stagnation, and then the energy stagnation can combine with the fluid stagnation, and with our body dampness, our body phlegm, and then even more with blood. So everything together, it makes not only pain, but also now finally also visible nodules or visible fibroids, visible cysts, or one day if the immune system collapse, if the patient has some trauma, emotional trauma, or if the patient suddenly experience like divorce or life crisis or accidents or over a very long term of emotional sadness, anger, then all of a sudden, all these what we say the harmless nodules, they could suddenly turn into a tumor. They could be malign tumors. Yeah, so that's actually the very complicated cancer at the end. And the malign tumor, of course, it doesn't happen now within a month, but I have many patients, for example, they develop even over, for example, 2 years. Yeah, within 2 years, like lack of energy, and then nodules, and then accumulation of phlegm, accumulation of the stagnation of energy and blood. They are all the risks for many complaints, yeah, even very complicated tumor. So this is the example that I try to give you as for example the energy deficiency, energy stagnation. Of course, the energy um, could could go to the wrong direction as well. Yeah. Normally the energy has good direction. Some goes up to nourish our brain, like the kidney, like the spleen, and some energy need to go down, like the stomach, like the gallbladder, because they have to bring our toxins, they have to bring the stool, the bowel movement. Everything needs to go down. But then if the energy due to our emotions, because we are very unhappy, because we are overexcited, because we are angry, then the energy could really go up very easily. Ups, yeah, and we have the tendency in this society, many people work intellectually. Yeah, I have the majority of my patients, they work very much with their head. So they also tend to have too much energy in their head and too little energy in the lower part, for instance, in below the belly button. So the kidney is deficient, lower part, and then the energy is too much. For example, the liver can easily rise up to our head and making a lot of troubles. Yeah, blood high pressure, for instance. If the people stress, there are all kinds of stress nowadays. Yeah, patients, they describe to me, because I need to work so much, because my family problems, because I have the mobbing in my work environment, because my parents, I couldn't communicate with my parents properly, because I have problems with my partner, with my children. So all these daily issues, they could very easily drive our energy up to our head. And of course, we experience pain or pressure or tinnitus, yeah, very high tune tinnitus, or sleep problems. Yeah, people say they can wind down when they go to bed. Also that they are very tired, but they just keep thinking and thinking. It's just like a carousel, just like this all round about. They just simply couldn't really wind down and not to think. So all these emotions, unhealthy emotions, they could easily make our energy in the wrong direction. So people will also experience, for example, um, like Schlaganfall. So um, like suddenly these problems that they get bleeding in our brains or they get very, very high pressure. I have a patient, for example, said she every time that she has stress, her blood pressure can rise up to 180 to 150. It's really high, yeah. But then when she really calms down, then the blood pressure can go back to the normal range. And we all know that if some people they are too stressed, they could lose a lot of hair as well. Yeah, I have patients say, well, suddenly she couldn't see properly. Yeah, her eyes lose some see sight. It's also typical that we say the liver energy it goes up too quickly to the head. So, on the contrary, if we have too much energy concentrating on our head, we can develop a lot of inflammation, pain, tinnitus, blood high pressure, Schlaganfall, hair loss, or even the teeth pain or some inflammation in the face or headache or fever sometimes. And on the lower part, it will be quite unbalanced. It means that there will not be enough energy, for example, in the lower part of our body. For instance, people can have some prolapse, like prolapse of organs, yeah, like their stomach can sink or kidney can sink. Their uterine can sink. They develop, for example, diarrhea. Yeah, people can easily develop diarrhea because the energy could not really hold the fluid, could not properly hold the organ. Yeah, the organs they need enough energy to be at their proper place. And they will also develop, for example, coldness in their lower part. Some people describe they have a very hot head, but on the other side, very cold feet. Yeah, so this disbalance of the energy, the upper part is very hot, the lower part is cold. So you have all kinds of thinking, all kinds of worries and fear in your mind. But on the other side, you keep the fibroids or the cyst or the lower part, the abdomen keeps growing, yeah, because the energy there is not sufficient, and the energy there keeps to be more and more deficient, and then more and more stagnation. So this is the examples of how to show you maybe with your own problems to understand why I have this disease or these problems we call the energy problems. And the energy problems, when you talk about it with your doctors, for instance, I have patients have sleep problems and had to go to toilets 4 to 5 times per night. So it means that almost every hour, every 2 hours has to get up and go to the loo and then couldn't fall asleep again. And of course, over a long time, then the patient developed many problems, yeah, depressions or tiredness, fatigue, and irritations, etc., because the body could not regenerate. And when she go to see the doctor just give her sleep pills. Sleep pills could make her fall asleep easily, but still, uh, it could not really resolve this energy deficiency problems. Yeah, once she stopped the sleeping pills, all problems come back. And from a lot of medications that we receive nowadays, like if you have pain, you use painkillers. If you have allergy, you use antihistaminic. If you have the headache, you treat your headache. If you have fibroids, if you have some nodules in thyroid, they will give you sometimes medication, sometimes operation. But even operations, it couldn't really cut the causes away. Yeah, the operations maybe can cut the one nodules, two nodules, but it could never really guarantee the nodules don't come back because the operation could not operate the causes of your problems away. For instance, this energy deficiency, for instance, the energy stagnation, or the energy with the blood, with the water, with the phlegm problems. So all these problems they could come back again. And we all know that there are also in the Chinese medicine, we not only treat the people when they said, "Oh, now I have my headache," we treat only the headache. We also see people as a holistic point of view. So when we say a patient come to see me, I will normally really try to understand how different organs they work together and how much the patient has the energy. If it's enough, if the patient it's relaxed, if the patient has a lot of tension, or if the patient had a very strong energy stagnation, and even this energy stagnates together with our own water and with our own fluids and even with blood. And if the patient has, we say, Kaf and Saf deficiency, so the energy is low, also the blood is low, the body fluid is low, then of course we need to tonify the patient. A lot of tonifications, a lot of qi tonifying, energy tonifying. And this energy tonifying in the school medicine, it's very difficult to achieve. They don't even see this as a problem. Yeah, imagine, I always tell patients your energy to tonify. It's just, everyone needs more energy, but no one really concerned that there's no pharmacy who could sell you qi, who could sell you energy. Energy we need to do, we need to cultivate on our own. Yeah. For example, I use this example. If you have problems, let's say you have phlegm problems, and your energy is like this. I have a small cup here. Yeah. If you have, I put one of my spook or my my speicher or my water, my mouth water into this small cup, and I ask you to drink, you will say, "Oh, what in disgusting! How could I drink the water with your phlegm?" But imagine if this cup, the energy is so big, like for instance, maybe 100 liter, or even as big as a lake. Yeah, sometimes when we go swim, we even drink mouthful of water or mouthful of seawater when we go to the sea and swim there. But we will never say, "Wow, it's disgusting," because it's so big. Yeah, we have the same potential. If we have really enough energy, we have enough potential, but the problem is still there, but it might not be so significant anymore. That's why opening our energy way or opening our energy and try to get more energy is definitely everyone's everyone's task or what we really need to do. Yeah, and how I will explain a little bit later. Before I explain why, for example, that I recommend you the medical Qigong, I give you one more example of a very important organ, because I explain you what is energy, what happens when energy is sick, what happens when energy is stagnant or deficient. Every organ in TCM could be deficient. I give you an important organ example so that you understand it more. For instance, the kidney energy deficiency. The kidney energy deficiency, as I explained, it worked very closely with the spleen and stomach. Yeah, the spleen and stomach responsible a lot for the phlegm, for the nodules in our body, um, and is considered as an organ that creates energy from food. And the kidney reflects our roots, or we say that actually our constitutions, our essence that we, or in the modern medicine, we might call it the genetic. Yeah, the kidney in Chinese medicine is just like this gene, the constitutions, the energy that we also heritage from our parents or even grandparents, etc. So kidney, it's also including this Nebennieren, so this sub-kidney area. So all these hormones like cortisol, adrenalines, the sexual hormones, all the different hormones, they are responsible to be released from our kidneys. So kidneys have a lot of functions. Yeah, I'll give you a few examples. In the Chinese medicine, the kidney works closely with the heart. So if the kidney is not working properly, then the heart suffers. Yeah, then patients could suffer from heart palpitations and even sleepiness, sleep issues, and the patient could also feel very fearful, or what many patients call panic attack. Yeah, it has a lot of things to do with this harmony between kidney and heart. And kidney is also responsible for as I just mentioned, with the hormones. So the hormones including sexual hormones, the hormones to do with the fertility, the anti-muller hormones, estrogens or progesterone, the thyroid hormones, TSH, T3, T4, our thymus gland. So of course the T cells, yeah, this killer cell, the killer cell in the immune system who actually kill the cancer cells. So kidney is also responsible for this Knochenmark, so our marrows. Yeah, so it produces, of course, there in our spines, important blood cells or these stem cells. It's also responsibility from kidney. And kidney also responsible to nourish our brains. Yeah, so the meridians go from the feet all the way up and then nourish our brains. So if the brain could not concentrate properly, then we have concentration problems, ADHD, for instance, or people when they have the kidney energy deficiency, when they are young, they might have learning problems in the school because they couldn't concentrate well. They might feel a lot of challenge or a lot of difficulty in school. And later on, they might have some problems that at work because they couldn't really concentrate properly, and they have brain frogs, for example. And then later on, when they're getting older, some people have menopause issues with the hormones and the hot flashes or sleep problems, or later on demands, for example, that the brain start uh, to uh, to actually degenerate, yeah, degeneration. And then they also can have Parkinson, a lot of issues that is related to their brain. And the brain, of course, it's to be nourished from our kidney energy. The kidney is also responsible for as in the school medicine as well for our urination, yeah, for our urine. So people, for example, need to pee, as I just give an example, that they need to pee 3 times, 4 times at night. Some people even twice at night, but some people with a good kidney energy, they could really sleep through. Yeah, they could really sleep through with very good quality. But the kidney deficiency people, they will develop a lot of urination problems. When they were young kids, for example, I just have like young boys that they will still have this nuclear, so they still urinate without waking up at night, even at a very old age. Yeah, some people even at the age of 6, 7, some people even at the age of 13. That I have a patient now. I have a few patients in my clinic that they still urinate. They couldn't wake up at night. So this badness when they were young. And then later on, they need to pee a lot at night. And when they drink water, compared to what they drink, they still urinate a lot. And later on, some people may experience easily the incontinence, yeah, incontinence or bladder issues, the urinary tract infection, because the bladder is a very close partner from the kidney. So if kidney has problems, the bladder suffer as well. So in these urination problems, it's also symptoms from the kidney energy deficiency. The kidney, it's also responsible for all our sexuality. For instance, people or women who doesn't have regular periods, or young girls, for example, they couldn't get the period when they are age 13, the normal age, they get it late, and then they don't have the periods regularly. Or when they bleed very little, and sometimes 40-day cycle, and sometimes 28-day cycle. Or very typically, people who take a lot of birth control pills, they might they might also suffer from the kidney energy deficiency, because it doesn't really circulate the kidney energy properly, because the pills really regulates our cycles. Yeah, so we say that now then the ovary or the uterine, they don't work properly over the years and years. So many patients, when they really, for example, stop the birth control pills, they will have difficulty getting pregnant. And of course, all the infertility, or a lot of women, they check their hormones, everything is fine, but they still could not get pregnant. It could be due to the energy deficiency, because as I mentioned, the energy deficiency, we can feel it. These people, they normally really have a lot of coldness. They have cold hands, they have cold feet, they feel tired, they might have some hair loss, they might have some urination problems, they have very low libido, they don't want to have sex, and they might have some lower back issues, or they might have some problems with their periods. All this contributed to the kidney energy deficiency. Yeah. And of course, the kidney also responsible for the bones and all the teeth problems, like the Wurzelbehandlung, the teeth issues, or the hair issues, losing hairs, or osteoporosis, yeah, lack of calcium in the bones. Um, very easily to feel cold, and particularly in winter, a lot of pain in the articulations. Particular, many patients mentioned, I have this deep coldness, and I have this very deep pain in winter when it's cold. These people have the kidney kidney energy deficiency. I think it's very common. Yeah, I see it almost every day in my practice that people complain here and there the different issues from kidney, what not about the organ, but this kidney energy deficiency. The kidney has also one function. It's responsible for our fear. Every organ in the TCM is responsible for certain emotions. Yeah, we say, for example, the liver is responsible for anger, for this aggressivity or depression, for example. Yeah, that's the liver deplocates our energy stagnation. And when it's stagnated, produces anger, for instance. And the anger, it will harms our liver also easily. And the spleen, for instance, is also very important organ. And the spleen, the digestion tract is very easily affected by worries, for example, worries or a lot of thinking. People have the tendency to think a lot, to have a lot in their mind. The German word like Hummels or Sorge. Yeah, they are always anxious about the future, things that are not happen, but they're already worried about that. And the kidneys, for instance, kidney produces fear, yeah, fear, or in the German word Angst. So people are fearful. The fear sometimes is easy to understand. For example, that we fear about getting sick. We have a lot of fear when our children, for example, are not well. And this fear could manifest in other ways as well. What I see typically in the clinic is, for example, the perfectionist. Yeah, the perfectionism means that these people have some deep fear. They are not recognized or they are not loved. They are not loved enough by their partner, by their parents, or by themselves even. So out of fear, they try to be really perfect. They try to be perfect in their job. They try to be perfect in their education, in their goals, in just really. I will always use the example, just like the little dog chasing his own tail. Yeah, or Selbstjäger. These people really chasing their own tail. And this is also manifested from the kidney energy deficiency because the fear, no? The kidney deficient produces a lot of fear, and the fear itself, it can again harm our kidney energy. This is a very typical example, yeah, because the kidney is situated in the lower part of our body. When the kidney, we say, when this kidney is really a low energy, it develops all kinds of, for example, overweight or flames or accumulation in our abdomens, yeah, and it's very essential that actually our energy in this lower, we say it's like if we are comparing, here is our roots, and the roots need to be strong. If the kidney is not strong, it's just like that we are a tree without a strong root. So it will give a lot of different problems. And I mean that even I take care of myself. I know that in my practice, all of you, we all have in different degrees or in different symptoms this kidney energy deficiency. That's why I now use it to explain you the energy deficiency. And now, of course, if you ask me, I know that I have the problem. I have my blood pressure, my high blood pressure. I have tension because I have the energy stagnation. My neck shoulder is very tense. I have very strong PMS when I'm getting my periods, and I have pain. I have a headache. I have period pain. I have lower back pain. I have tinnitus. I have fibroid. I know, or now I understand well. The next question is, of course, what can I do? What can I do? Some of you come to visit me for acupuncture sessions. And the acupuncture, of course, resolve the stagnation. I will also use sometimes tonifying technique to tonify your energy. Of course, acupuncture is one of the therapies in Chinese medicine. The problem is some of you see me only maybe once a month, yeah? Or some of you in China, they have the therapy normally. They will have, for example, a typical hospital, yeah, in TCM hospital. The patient will even come to see the acupuncturist every day so that they will have, for example, 10 sessions in a therapy form. But we couldn't afford this, yeah. I never really have some acupation, they come to see me twice a week when they have pain, and this helped them a lot. But it's really unaffordable to visit me, and even for me, I don't have the capacity to treat my patient, for example, every day. So mostly, I see many of you every 2 weeks or sometimes once a month, and I give you some herbal formulas to drink to resolve your energy problems. But the acupuncture and herbs, they all have the limitation. The limitation is they couldn't really very directly tonify or I mean tonifying all the organs together. Yeah, I always have to set the focus. In one session, I work more on your stagnation, and the herbs, the same thing. I have to work either, for example, the focus a bit on the spleen or on the kidney, but most of us, we are so complicated. We have stagnation, and we have stress, and we have worries, and we have fears, and all this they could not be treated properly. Imagine what kind of needle can change your mind. I couldn't change your worries. I couldn't change how you how you treat yourself. Yeah, if you tend to be overexcited, you get easily irritated. You're always worried about when it rains. You're worried about that the sun doesn't come out, and when the sun comes out, that you're worried that tomorrow it rains again. Or people say that I'm not satisfied with my life, with my job, with my partner. I couldn't use my needle to change your mind. So the mindset is difficult to change. And the emotions, it's also difficult. Yeah. Some people will say, oh, Huating, I actually feel very relaxed after the session, but then 2 days later, the tension really come back. So what can you do? For example, for me, I always recommend patients to practice medical Qigong themselves. Yeah, the number one reason is that they could really actively uh, regulate their energy on the daily basis. So every day you could do something to, let's say, to detox yourself. You wash your hands, you wash your face, but you never think about you need to clean your energy on the daily basis as well. Your energy is exactly like your face. It can be polluted. It can be polluted from your own negative emotions. It could be affected also by other people's negative emotions as well. If you have a very for example, nowadays the society is full of wars, full of negative news. uh, full of also aggressions everywhere, then of course your energy can be easily affected as well. And you never thought about you need to clean your energy. You need to do something for your own energy as well. Because with the toxins that we accumulate more and more health risk. So every day you can do something to clean your energy, to regulate your own energy stagnation, to let go your unhealthy emotions, and to breathe properly. No one, I mean, that's breathing properly and deeply. It's one way that we can get more energy. Yeah, we always consume too much, but on the other side, we have too little intake. Yeah, the medical qigong increase your income. I would say if you have like a bank account, your bank account, we say that you have an account of your energy. Every day you need to save some energy, and every day you need to use some energy. Most of us, we have everyday negative accounts. Yeah, the negative account means that you overuse it by unhealthy emotions, by unhealthy thinking, by unhealthy life habit. But none of us think about, oh, I need to save every day to my energy account because I'm getting older. My body functions, my organ functions are not as well as when I'm young. So actually, we need to save the energy on the daily basis, but none of it actually can make it up. Yeah, mostly we continue to consume and consume and consume. So we need to increase the intake. Medical Qigong is a very good way that you increase your intake, yeah, because it works exactly like acupuncture without needles. Yeah, I would say acupuncture needles, they are limited because I always have to set a focus. Either I work on your kidney, either I work on your spleen. I couldn't put you like an eagle, I say. Yeah, I couldn't put you full of needles. And there are also financial difficulties for some people that they couldn't come so often. So and if you spend every day an hour to practice medical qigong, you are doing a very holistic self-treatment for yourself. You activate your meridians all over the body, the heart, the lungs, and the kidney, the spleen, the liver. So you're treating yourself on the daily basis, and you are increasing your energy intake. And what's more important, you are changing your mindset. Yeah, the needles and the herbs, they barely change your mindset, but medical qigong can change your mindsets. Yeah, I have witnessed it from all my patients, even from myself. You can be a much calmer person. You won't get over excited, and because of the medical qigong works similarly as meditation, so it releases a lot of positive energy to you. It opens your heart, it opens your channels, and it helps you to breathe deeply so that you also have more oxygen intake, more energy intake. The pores in our skins, the lungs, all the organs, the functions will be strengthened. So you can have this optimize intake of energy, and then changing your mindset to be. Many patients now, after 1 year, 2 years practice, they tell me, Hua-Ting, I really feel that I have all the happiness in myself, and I have all the medications also in my body. I really don't need to see that often my doctors, and I feel that I'm really more satisfied. They become a more grateful person. Yeah, and this is difficult. That's also why I'm making this effort. For example, I'm making a lot of effort to educate my patient to try to help them to go on this way, that they help themselves, they do something for themselves. And when you realize, maybe after 8 months, for example, your complaints are getting better, your nodules disappear, or simply you are a much more happier person, you are a much more calmer person, more satisfied, more grateful, uh, you will be very proud of yourself, yeah, because you have actually you have been able to achieve all this success on your own. Yeah, we all have this potential and capacity, and it's always better. I know that you know what I mean. If I help you, for example, on the way, I'm always holding your hands, and you will say, "Yeah, Huating, thank you that you helped me out." But it's never the same. You say that, "Oh, I'm so proud of myself. I I've been through all this, and uh, I'm on my own. I have really succeeded in achieving this by myself." And this gives you a lot of confidence and a lot of training as well for your health. And um, I mean, it's also give you the future a lot of security as well. Yeah, once you experience, you can support yourself. You won't be fear. You won't be worried. You won't be that angry. So you suddenly realize your life is changed. I think that now it's already like an hour. So when I start to talk, it's really spontaneous, really come a lot in my mind, yeah, because I have every one of your face in front of me, and I'm trying to explain like you are just in front of me. The next question, maybe it's important that I explain the medical qigong, the why it's called medical, not because that Huating that I am selling what I'm teaching. Yeah, in China, a medical qigong or qigong itself has even longer history than acupuncture or herbs. In some archaeology sites, more than 3,000 years they discover even pictures of people like these old Asian Chinese people. They are practicing Qigong. So what in Chinese called Dao Yin An Xiao. So it means your energy leading or your energy regulating, your energy exercising. Qi means energy. Gong means exercise. So energy exercise. This energy exercise has a very long history. And normally there are three classifications. So we classify the primary Qigong or the medical Qigong. It's called primary not because of its not because of its simple or use or anything. It simply means it's quite medical oriented. Medical oriented means it's designed to treat the disease, to treat the health complaints. In China, in the 1980s, they even set up a ministry, health ministry in hospital, so it's responsible to certify Qigong, because at the time there are so many Qigong masters. They claim that their Qigong can heal disease, but they don't have any medical background. So many people were even they were treated to practice, but actually they lose the chance to go to see proper doctors. So it's quite trauma. That's why the government, the health ministry, set up organizations to prove, to examine different qigongs, and only a qigong who can be tested or who can be in the control group with more than 3,000 patients. It means that 3,000 patients will be tested with the Qi Gong, and if their complaints get better, then this Qi Gong form can get the certification of medical Qi Gong. So it has very what I am practicing or what I'm giving to my student and to my patient, they are all strictly proved and examined in the Chinese hospitals, yeah, with more than 3,000 patients. And there are second Qigong form that is called the middle Qigong or the wellness Qigong. The wellness Qigong, you all know them, or you must have heard of them, like Tai Chi, for example, or autogenous training in German. So a lot of breathing technique, or yoga. It's also considered as Qigong exercise, or Pilates, or Apocada, this eight treasure movement. There are many, many different Qigong forms. Yeah. If you type in Qigong in internet or in YouTube, you find thousands of videos. But the wellness Qigong has a disadvantage. It couldn't really treat your uh, energy complaints properly. For instance, I have patients who practice more than 10 years of yoga, but couldn't get their migraine treated, or couldn't get their allergy or their fibroid way. Yeah, it makes you relax, but it doesn't have the effect of treating your health complaint. And there are, of course, a third level, what we call the high level of Qigong to activate certain capacities. For example, some Qigong masters, they really practice the Qigong 20 hours per day, very long hours. They're sitting in the cave, they just meditate because they want to open their third eyes, they want to see, they want to hear. Something that normal people can't see and can't hear. They want to work with the energies. So this is not our interest. It's not my interest neither. So that's why in my courses, I have different forms. Yeah, the medical Qigong that I am trying to now recommend to you, it has the medical Qigong certification. And secondly, it has very broad indications. It means this Qigong form is not only working to treat only your lung deficiency, only to treat your kidney deficiency, only to treat your digestions. One patient asked me, Huating, I know that I have these heart issues and I have these pain issues, and other patients may have other problems. And is it not better that I learn the specific form from you only to treat my problems? Well, and there are many schools that treat, for example, that give kidney qigong or lung qigong, but the medical qigong form I give you, it's quite a holistic qigong form. Yeah, it's if I tell you the indication, it not only works with your heart problem, your lungs problem, your allergy, your breathing issues, long COVIDs, migraines, or fibroids, or PMS, hormone issues, infertility, blood high pressure, tinnitus, or the tensions. It also, I actually maybe have to tell you what it doesn't treat, for example. This medical Qigong form has so many different indications. In China, they found that it treated actually 300, more than 360 diseases that they get the documentation from the patient. So what patients are not suitable to practice this Qigong for? The first one is the patient who have inflammation problems. It means that they have some other energy, strange energy. It won't work properly. And the second is people who have really liver issues, like liver fats or fat liver, or liver functions abnormalities. So if they have really some like liver functions disturbance or liver not working properly, then they need to practice other form of Qigong instead of this form. And for very serious, like autoimmune problems, lupus, or for example, tumors, cancer patient, they also need to practice other forms of Qigong, like Guolin Qigong. So these three categories are not included in this Qigong form, but other patient, like I know you well, yeah, for patient or people who come to learn this medical Qigong, I really have a very comprehensive anamnesis, a very comprehensive diagnosis with you. That's why you learn first this exercise with me. I'm not recommending it, learning it from YouTube, because the YouTube video, there are many mistakes. The medical Qigong, if you don't practice it well, it gives side effect as well. Yeah, you can easily develop symptoms that are not wished. For example, if you're not using the proper breathing technique, if you are not using the proper exercising speed, exercising technique, you can even make your energy deficiency worse, or you can make the wrong direction of regulating your organs. Yeah, I will also try to adjust to everyone their own needs. So when we first learn the exercise together, we might later on adjust everyone's exercise according to your own need. So that's why I'm not only giving you the exercise and then you practice and that's all. It's important you really understand it well. That's why it's also this I'm using really extra my time in the evening to inform you what you are going to exercise, why you need to exercise, and what you are expecting, and why, for example, it's helping your complaint. Yeah, I hope that at least now after my explanation, um, it's quite clear to you, because some of you always mention, yes, Huating, I think that now financially I couldn't afford to attend the course. I understand the arguments, yeah. But from my side, if I'm honest, I prefer you to save actually the money, to save this investment for yourself, because if you learn the exercise, it's really for life there. Yeah, it's for you, it's for a lifetime. And it's about 4 to 5 acupuncture sessions. Yeah, in 4 to 5 acupuncture sessions, you are not going to get your complaints under control. I know you all, yeah, I'm very honest. But if I say you invest this amount of money to learn medical Qigong and to invest the time, so we have now two prerequisites. The number one is you have to make sure you really having a good quality. So I'm teaching you. I know that I'm quite a strict teacher. I won't let you finish the course with a very bad exercise quality. If you have the good exercise quality, and if you really exercise enough, let's say if you get your complaint treated, you want to have your complaint treated, you practice probably for 6 to 8 months, twice a day. Yeah. But if you want to have some maintenance to you're relatively healthy. For me, I'm relatively healthy, I'd say, but I'm working with patient every day. So I am doing it myself twice a day, and I'm investing really time. And I see from my patient that if they do it twice a day, they will get their acupuncture session shortened. They will need much less they will need really much fewer. They have acupuncture sessions very effectively. Yeah, so because they have more energy for me to work with. And at the end, they don't need me anymore. And I'm happy if I'm telling you if you don't need me anymore. Yeah, I really want you to be independent and not to be dependent on me, on therapies, on medications, on any doctors, because you can really, if you can make yourself sick, of course, you can also make yourself healthy again. That's my advice. Yeah, from the financial point of view, it's not very smart that you think I'd rather now save the money for acupuncture sessions. Uh, in 4 to 5 acupuncture sessions, uh, it's far not enough. Some of you already have few sessions with me, and it's a long process. Yeah, it's not going to be easy neither if you exercise on your own, because one, you need to have the confidence on yourself. You need to have the discipline because you need to invest time every day to exercise. Um, and it's going to be, after you learn it, it's even going to be still another 8 months to really stick uh to your goal. Yeah. And you also need to get good quality. And this, of course, are not easy. This way to go to support yourself, this self helping, it's not easy neither. But definitely, if you go through it, you will definitely find it very worthwhile. So I guess I really have talked enough. Now I will make a little bit of so before now, I'm closing the speech for this evening. It's important that I actually emphasize that you should really learn the medical Qigong from an experienced therapist. If you're not learning from me, you should also try to learn it from an experienced TCM therapist who has a profound and good knowledge about Chinese medicine, because the medical Qigong depends on how good your exercising quality is and if it's suitable for your complaint, and the technique in tonifying, in diverting, in breathing. So these are all need to be closely controlled by your therapist. And the therapist can also adjust the exercise for you. That's why please try not to learn it from YouTube videos, because there are some very, very easily that you can make mistakes that you don't even realize. And these mistakes could make your complaint even worse. That's why it's important to learn it from TCM therapists who has experience working with patients. And also, I will also again, it's always my part that I think that I'm giving my greatest gratitude to my patient, that I learn from them a lot. And I'm really very happy if they can actively do something for themselves, because many patients, I realize that they don't even realize there are energy disease, there are energy stagnation, energy deficiency, energy problems, disbalances. If they have this knowledge about their body, about their energy, they might avoid many problems. Yeah, imagine if you know that your child has kidney energy deficiency. Now he only has some urination issues, but then you can already start to help him so he doesn't have the concentration problems in school, and later on he doesn't have the the fear, the perfectionist chasing his own tail, and he doesn't develop dementia, Parkinson in the future. So it's really a prevention for many future problems. And that's why I'm also making my effort to, well, if I'm allowed to say, to educate my patient so they are aware of the energy disbalance problems, energy problems, this invisible energy that help us to stay healthy and to help our health, and we could really actively do something for our health. Yes. So the course, you can find the details on my website. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to write to me. Yes, and I hope to see you soon. And thank you for your attentions and for your time. Bye bye.